Hello and welcome to the MVP Show. Today we're chatting with the first ever Microsoft MVP for Dynamics 365 for Talent, Microsoft's new HR system. She joins us today straight from Oslo, Norway, to share with us her MVP story and share her expertise in Dynamics 365 for Talent. I'm happy to welcome to the show Malin. Full show notes can be found at nz365guide.com/137. Now let's get on with the show. Malin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks for having me on.
So you're the first MVP for Dynamics Talent, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. First and only so far.
First and only. Wow, that's a very, very privileged position. But tell us, before we talk a bit about that, where do you come from? What part of the world do you come from? And what do you do when you're not working?
I live in Norway. I come from the far north part of Norway in Lofoten, which is the most beautiful place in the world. But right now I live in Oslo, the capital of Norway. And I was supposed to work in marketing when I grew up. So I have an education in marketing. And then the whole consulting life just blew me away. And I became a consultant in 2014.
Okay. So how long have you been then working just with Dynamics Talent?
March 2018.
Wow, so a bit over a year.
Yeah.
And do you find in Norway you're getting lots of projects around Microsoft Talent?
It's been a slow sell because, and it's so different from our CRM part, because I usually work or have worked for years with CRM or customer engagement or whatever it's called today. And because that this, for us at least, there are shorter sales, and we're selling to salespeople, and they're often taking decisions a lot faster. And now we're over at the ERP side of the table, and the sales are excruciating long. Yeah. So it's just, we have one customer that's coming up to a year we've been working with them, and they still haven't, or they've decided, but now they're going to find partners on the finance and operations side. And yeah, so it takes time.
Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah. And what made you choose though to really go down the track of talent? Like, I understand you are the first to pass the MB6 898 exam, Dynamics 365 Talent certification.
The second.
You're the second.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. Like, getting that done. What made you jump into the talent side of things away from the customer service side of things?
Just by chance, a customer came to us saying, well, could you do a proof of concept on talent? And our sales guy looked at us and said, yeah, sure, of course we can do that.
like all salespeople.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then when he hung up the phone, he asked us, what is talent? And we're like, I have no idea. And then my manager, which used to work in Microsoft, said, oh, I think it's some kind of HR thing. And we're like, okay, never heard of it. And so, well, Molly will learn it, so she'll do it. I was like, okay, no problem.
So you got into it.
Yeah.
What do you like about it the most?
I like the pace that the development is going. I have my blog I'm working on. I think it's 16 reasons why you should choose talent. So I'll highlight it all there. And today's post just came out. It says about adjusting salary and compensation. So there are so many things in the system that I don't think people know about. And it's such a vast system. And with the attract part, it's just amazing. It works so good. And the onboarding is so simple that it actually works. And then you have the core part of it all. So
Is it connected to LinkedIn, the LinkedIn kind of employment functionality or recruitment functionality of LinkedIn?
yeah, you have Attract is closely connected with the LinkedIn recruiter part or license, but you have to have the license for recruit as well. But it just works. What happens in talent goes to LinkedIn and the other way around. So if you have connected someone to the job in LinkedIn, it shows in talent. And if you send messages or write notes or whatever, it's everything is connected to each other. So it's really great. Yeah.
Okay, so it's got a good integration. Tell me a bit about your journey to becoming an MVP. Kind of, what was the time frame? You know, how did you hear about it? What was your kind of end-to-end journey of getting into the program?
I was when I started. Well, as you always do, you start Googling and you look for resources, because with a Microsoft product, there is always a gazillion information online, but there weren't any for talent. And I just thought, well, that's kind of strange. Well, it's a new product, so but there's nothing. And I went to the forums, and there were hardly anyone answering these questions. So I started. First thing I actually did was start answering all the questions. So I got some badges on the MCC site, and it was a lot of fun. And then I thought, okay, I have a lot of content from reading about my certification. And I know it was a pain going through all the videos and clicking through it. And I wanted to make it, because I love the work that Neil Parkhurst does with his certification. I've used them for every certification, and I'm just waiting for him to be done with the MB200 so I can read through his notes and take that. So I thought, okay, I want to do that for talent. And then my Norwegian Microsoft go-to guy for talent, Fredrik Sætre, which is an old MVP before he started at Microsoft, he told me, okay, so I think you should go try be an MVP. I was like, okay, if you say so. But to do that, you have to like get on the radar. And what he did was he posted one blog post every day for a month.
Wow.
Yeah, and I thought, okay,
wow.
so he just
one every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
For a month. And he said, okay, so I challenge you to do that. I was like, okay, because I have a 3-year-old son, so I weekends are off. That's my time off. So I thought, okay, well, I can do every work day on the certification, because there is a ton of material for the certification to read. And I went through the month, and I thought, well, this was kind of easy, so I'll just keep going. And then I kept going, and I kept going, and there were days when I thought, okay, I don't have time for this. And then I just saw, okay, I've done this for 3 months straight and never missed a work day. I can't skip this now. So I actually did at least one blog post every work day for 6 months.
Wow. So you did, a blog post every day for 6 months, every day you worked. Wow, that is phenomenal. That is phenomenal.
Yeah, looking back at it, it's just crazy, because now I do once a week. I do every Tuesday, and I just think, how on earth did I do it? I'm never doing it again. Yeah.
That is incredible. So, kind of, what was your model for, and what is your model now? How do you come up with ideas to blog on, and kind of what's your kind of ritual or process you go through to create a blog post?
Right now I have the series I'm working on. I started with the one blog post, why you should choose talent as your HR system, and in there I had 16 reasons. I think it is. So there I have 16, now 15 it is. Just there I have 15 weeks of blogging. And it's easy to come up with the reasons why you should choose talent. There are so many, so I just had to restrict it a bit. But even though there are so many things in the system, I still don't know. So I take it as my personal learning path. Just, okay, what don't I know about right now? So I have a ton of themes set up right now, just to have some. Well, I have a lot, but I always write them down.
Okay. So the ideas you write down the list as ideas come to you, and then when it's time to write, you choose one of the ideas and you write it out. Okay. And then tell me about your process of writing. How long does it take you roundabout to write a post, and what do you add in there? Is it graphics, video? Like, how do you think about it when you actually write a post?
I know I should do video, and I am supposed to start doing videos, and I am starting doing videos soon, but I haven't gotten there. So I learned a lot from being on your 90-day mentoring challenge, where I learned a lot, and I said there that I am going to start doing videos, but as of now it's just text and pictures, screenshots from the system. But videos are coming, and it's not short blog posts, at least not the certification blog posts aren't short. They're but they depend. It just depends. I can use half an hour if they're easy posts, and I can use 2 hours if they're more complex and more to write. Yeah.
Okay. And so when do you tell us about, like, how do you actually write a post? And what I'm meaning here is that it's not like, my experience is not just simple, just sit down and write. Like, it's got to do with, what is the structure, what is the story, what's the starting point that you want to start with people, and where do you want to end the post. Like, even I find often it's hard knowing when to end a post, more than knowing how to start one. So what do you think about when you actually create a post?
With my series right now, I think that I end it when I know I've said the basic, the top line, like, okay, this is why you should choose it. And if you want to read more, you can read about my other posts that go in depth. Because in the certification post, I just wrote full out everything you needed to know about that specific thing. So then there was a natural like stopping point for that. But it just depends on the post, really. And I could go on and on and on about talent. So I love to write long posts, but I know I need to make things short.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, English is obviously not your first language. Are you writing these all in English?
Yeah, all in English.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is impressive. Do you do anything in Norwegian written wise?
I do at my company's page. I write everything in Norwegian. But it's kind of hard because I have this presentation that I take for companies, for just what is talent and how can it help you. And it takes about 45 minutes to an hour. And I've done it more times in English than in Norwegian. But it's when I come into a customer, I have come to a customer and they say, could you please do it in English if you can? And I was, yeah, no problem. It's just easier because I do everything with talent in English. So when I change the settings to Norwegian in talent, it's hopeless.
Is that right? Is
Yeah.
that right?
Because it's kind of like some of it is being translated. And anyway, it was a lot worse than it used to be. So I do send in some translation information to Microsoft, just saying that this is just completely wrong, or you could maybe, yeah.
Okay, so help improve the product.
Yeah.
Um, you also do stuff in the user group up there, and my understanding is you run a user group. Tell us a bit about that and how that got started.
Yeah. I run the user group Women in Dynamics in Oslo, and we started. I started it in April, I think, um, and we're now 122 members
Wow, in Oslo.
in Oslo.
This is so good. This is so good.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's just exploded, and we've had 3 meetups. So I'm thinking about 4 or 5 a year, I think, because we have the other Dynamics user group in Oslo, which is for like everyone, which did the Marius has got. Um, but I thought, well, it's always hard to get women into IT, no matter where you are. But it could be easier if you just start a group. And I know there are a lot of very good females in the business, and I'm open not only for consultants but also for customers and just students, people that are interested, and everyone wanting to learn something about dynamics.
Yeah. How like you've targeted on creating a women in dynamics group. How does that differ from other type of groups, being that you're focused specifically on women?
We're actually more active than the other community in Norway, so we meet more often, and we on each of our 3 meetings so far, we've had food and champagne.
Wow,
Or
I like
prosecco,
this.
yeah.
I like this. I like this.
And of course chocolate. So yeah, so that's a big difference. And I always try to get female speakers to present their stuff, just to like push them. Try, okay, can't you please talk about something for us? And so far they're all saying, yeah, sure, no problem. Oh my god, can I do that? Yeah, yes. Yeah, so I'm trying to lift up other females, because in Norway we are 3 female MVPs in all
Yes.
of Norway. Yeah.
So who are the other two?
Ida and Katrine in data platform. Yeah.
Oh, very good, very good. So, okay, so this is quite exciting. What advice do you have to other people around the world that are considering starting their user groups? What do they need to keep in mind, and what do they need to do?
Stop thinking and just do it. That's basically it, because a lot of women came up to me after the first meeting saying that, oh, we've talked about this for years, that we should do this, and it has so much potential, and there are so many women that have been asking about it. So just stop thinking about doing it and actually go out and do it.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. What other logistical things do you need to think about in setting one up?
Finding a good location, and of course speakers. But I found that, at least for me, people came up to me after the first meeting and said, we're interested in sponsoring and holding the meeting, and just no problem, just contact us whenever.
So, do you always meet in the same location?
No, we've had the company I work in, Point Taken, has held 2 meetups, and we've had one outside of the building. So the next time will probably be outside of my company, just to try and spread it a bit, so that yeah.
Have you found it easy to get other people to help you, run it, facilitate the group, that type of thing?
Yeah. People have come to me and say, if you ever need any help, just let me know and I'll be happy to help you. So,
What?
but yeah,
Carry on, carry on.
yeah. Right now it's just me in the organization team, because it's really, it haven't been that much to really organize. I just I've had it quite easy getting speaks, and now I think I have the next 2 or 3 meetups set with what we want to present. And I had some polls or Kahoots in the last meetup so that we can prioritize what parts of dynamics we want to focus on the next time.
I like it. I like it. So for other, particularly around the world, where other females might decide that they want to start a woman in dynamics type group or a woman in power platform, power apps, that type of thing, what are the advantages you think over creating, the more traditional mixed group scenario? What advantages do you get, or what kind of safe environment do you create with focusing on females?
First of all, it's easier for other females to attend because it's just other females. Well, my group isn't closed for men, not at all. If they want to come and be supportive and are supportive of women in dynamics, they could of course show up. But it's mainly for the women, just to not be exclusive in any way. But of course, if you are a jerk, you'll be thrown out very fast.
I like it.
Yeah, but of course, if you are in countries where maybe it's better to have it closed just for safety reasons, and that makes it so that females can join and are allowed to join, because if there are men, you can't get any females. Then just you have to do what's best for your country, of course. And of course, Microsoft, tell Microsoft what you're doing, and if you need any help, they will most likely be very eager to help you, because diversity is massive at Microsoft at the time.
Yeah, no, so true. I like what you're doing. You're an MVP now. How many months?
Since 1st of July.
1st of July. Okay. What are your thoughts on the MVP program?
It's huge. It's just so many. It's just so much. Just the emails and the possibilities to interact with Microsoft, and the way the other MVPs just include you in their community at once, just welcoming you, no matter if they knew you before or not. It's just, oh, hello, welcome to us, and feel free to ask any questions, and no questions are dumb, and just behave yourself, and we'll love you.
Good. So good. Do you recommend it to others? As in, is it more than what you anticipated, or if people are considering that they want to, go on that journey, what kind of recommendations, as in when I say the journey to becoming an MVP, what recommendations do you have?
Go for it. But you have to be aware that, I love that Sarah Critchley said that becoming an MVP and being an MVP isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And you need to be prepared for that. So you can't just give it everything for a year and then maybe become an MVP and think, okay, my work is done. It is not at all. You still have to continue your work and spreading your message and talking to people and presenting and everything. But of course, once you become an MVP, it's a lot easier to get accepted for speaking arrangements and being on podcasts and everything. So it's it opens up new doors.
Okay, are you ready for some quick fire questions?
Yes.
Okay, here's your first one. The first one's a deep one.
Oh.
Deep, okay? What are you most looking forward to in the next 10 years?
Watching my son grow up.
Mm-hmm. Good. If you could solve one world problem, what would it be?
One.
Only one.
Poverty.
Great. What's the last thing you completed on your bucket list?
Becoming an MVP.
Very cool. Okay, what's the one thing you like that creeps other people out?
There's so much. Well, I could, metal music, hard rock and heavy metal. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Would you rather end the life of one human or 100 puppies and kittens?
Oh, that's easy. One human.
I won't ask who.
Oh, it's so many.
Okay. What state or country do you never want to go back to? You can't think of one?
No, actually I can't.
None. Oh, that's very good. That's very good. You won't offend anybody.
No.
Well, it's been awesome, Malin. It's been great to have you on the show and chatting about your journey and becoming an MVP in the whole talent area. If people want to follow the content that you're creating or connect with you online, where can they find you?
Everywhere. I'm posting a lot on Twitter and of course LinkedIn, and I have my own blog. And I've tried to keep up with answering questions at the forum, but time just doesn't add up there. But I'm still there at times. But definitely my blog and Twitter and LinkedIn.
Hey, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you want to listen to more content like this, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future episodes of the show. Full show notes can be found at nz365guy.com/137 for this episode. See you next week.